looks like we're on. Everybody got your mics on? Jay, you got your mic on? All right, I'll welcome everybody to the Curry County Board of Commissioners meeting. Commissioner Herzog is not able to attend today, but he is here on Zoom, I believe.
He is.
John, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, let's open the meeting up, and we will begin with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So next, amendment approval of the agenda.
I just wanted to check on your agenda for higher orders, number 9. You have Julie Swift.
Yes.
And then we will need to add that also as, I believe we have to add that as executive session.
Okay, so we have executive session scheduled on 8,
Yeah,
so we'll just
yeah.
move that to,
Yeah, well,
move that to 8.
Right.
All right. All right, and also there is a presentation today, and we are going to cancel that presentation today and do it another day when Commissioner Herzog is present, as he's very much involved in that project. So we will eliminate that also. Any other items?
Not for me.
Commissioner Herzog, any adjustments to the amendment or amendments to the agenda?
No, sir. I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
And I'll second it.
Second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 And that passes 3-0. Any public comments today? I don't see any. I didn't get any slips, and I don't see anybody jumping to the podium today. So we'll continue on to discussion items. And first up,
The consent agenda?
Oh, consent agenda. Did I miss that? I'm sorry. All right. So consent agenda. My fault.
Move approval. I'll second.
All right, and call the question. Everybody in favor, say yes.
Yes.
And that passes 3-0. All right, now on to discussion action items. And first up is a legislative update from Becky Crockett.
Good morning, Commissioners, Legal Counsel.
Morning.
I think it was Commissioner Herzog that suggested perhaps I should talk to the board in regards to the latest legislative discussion that I've been involved in. The Senate Bill 648 was before the Senate Committee on Housing and Development on Monday, and last Monday I did submit testimony and actually spoke with Senator Brock Smith on the Senate bill, as well as Senate Bill 648-1. There's a lot of confusion by the committee, the legislative committee, on the issue of short-term rentals generally. There was concern on the part of the committee that we were talking about turning accessory dwelling units that are now allowed outside the urban growth boundary, turning those into short-term rentals, which is prohibited by state law. So I had to clarify for them that we're talking about short-term rentals that currently exist throughout the state of Oregon on resource lands. These were approved, some of them, a long time ago. That is, the structures were approved a long time ago before the codes and plans were actually adopted in 1974. Some of these structures were originally approved as home occupations. That is bed and breakfast establishments, which nobody serves breakfast anymore in any of these vacation establishments. So essentially, they're non-conforming. The issue is there has to be an avenue to allow these to continue forward. In Curry County, for example, we have about 100 of these located on resource land. And just for a little background, resource land, we're talking about agricultural and forestry zoned parcels. So we have a community of people that have made a significant financial investment in to allowing short-term rentals to exist going into the future on resource lands. We have a land use committee set up with the planning directors in the state of Oregon. We're starting to meet. Next week we'll have a meeting to start talking about this, but the issue entirely of short-term rentals across the board, resource lands, not resource lands, is a very contentious issue. And the concern, and I wanted everybody to be aware that, like I said, there is significant pushback to allowing these to continue on resource lands, which would be a significant impact to Curry County. So was my update. If I have any questions.
None for me.
I'll look through this, and if I have any, I'll come find you. Yeah, I'm curious on when it may reach the floor, etc.
It may not.
Okay.
Yeah, it went before a hearing, but it's always a good question what
So,
actually goes forward.
Becky, these actually they're illegal by statute at this time?
Some of them you could say are non-conforming uses. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are just flat out illegal.
But I mean, like some of the ones, but the ones that have been existing, like down there, in Pistol River, for example, they're I mean, that's been going on since God, would be the 60s or before.
Exactly.
And so that would be a taking.
Your legal counsel, you could go that avenue. For me, as far as the land use planner, I look at the code, and does the code allow it? Does the administrative rules under land use allow it? And the answer is no right now.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Herzog, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, we will move to discussion item B, American Rescue Plan Fund Administrator, Dave Barnes.
Good morning, Dave Barnes, County Treasurer. Came before you a couple of weeks ago and asked about this, and we got put back till this week, beginning April, end of April. So we are getting close. The contracts that we have signed with all of these subrecipients require them to make available to us their expenditures and how they use the ARP money that we gave to them. They all agreed when they signed these contracts. They put forth what they were going to use it for. It was determined by counsel's office, myself and finance director, that they were ARP eligible expenditures. So we gave them money, and we just now need to reach out to them and let them know that we need to get reports from them about what they've spent the money on, how much they have left, et cetera, and so that it can all be compiled so that beginning next month, I can start doing the ARP report for the United States Treasury. We don't have anybody who's currently administering the ARP program. Historically, grants, contracts, and other things have been administered by the finance department. So I don't know what this is really, it's simply, this is, to my mind anyway, this is a matter of creating a spreadsheet, essentially, that has a column for date, a column for description, and a column for how much you spent on something, and run it down the end of the page, and submitting that to me so that I can get this put into the report. So, but As I said in the last meeting, the prior commission was opposed to me being involved in this, and if this commission has a different feeling on it, then, I'm just looking for direction in how to go so that I can start accumulating this paperwork so that I can do the report. And whether you want me to do it or whether you want to keep it within the finance department, as this kind of thing has historically been theirs, is your choice.
All
Well,
right. Go ahead, Commissioner Trost.
So I totally understand. I mean, finance is generally the custodians of our grants, et cetera.
Correct.
So how do we want to proceed? Because it seems fairly time sensitive, right? If we
Yeah.
have an April dead date, and we still have to get these organizations to get us information back. That's going to take a while to compile. So do we feel comfortable going in one direction or another?
My concern is, Dave, Dave, would you be prepared to undertake that? Because I'm just concerned about the load on finance right now because of what we have, the budget, we've got a lot
Right.
of looming issues. We have some payroll issues that we're exploring, so I don't want to, if there was a way to take some weight off finance, I would like it.
I would love to be able to, but Callie has not returned in a
Okay.
full-time manner. I would gladly, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I'm certain that between the finance department and myself, we can put this together and do something. But as I said, I was told to stay away from this. So I'm looking for board permission to basically become involved in it again.
Would it be possible, Dave, for you to set up the process?
Yes.
Maybe set up the process, get it started, and then transition it to finance?
For the next year, yes, we can do that. So that this year we can get stuff out. I can create basically a spreadsheet of what I'm looking for, the information that I'm going to need. And then finance does have a list of the people who we have sent money to, who we've awarded money to. That's just, we can start sending out emails, I would hope, by the end of this week, so that we can start getting stuff back.
Okay.
So,
And I mean, in reality, a lot of the authority with the direction on this would sit with the director of operations as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I'd say let's work with Ted
okay.
and get it dialed in.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll work on that together and involve finance and get it.
Right, okay. Yeah, I just, like I've been saying, nobody was put in charge of this, and I was told to stay away from it. So,
Yeah.
if I have your consensus to get back involved with it, then I will, and we can get this moving forward.
Yeah, and I think if you set up the mechanism, the structure of it,
Okay.
that'll be more conducive to what you need, and then
Right.
we can transition that
Okay.
once it's in place.
Okay.
We agree on that? Do we need a motion on that,
No.
do you think?
I don't think so.
Go ahead, John.
Dave, would it help if, is this something we could do, the people don't get their check until they get this stuff to us? Are we putting the cart before the horse and giving somebody a check before they dotted all the i's and crossed all the t's as far as that ARP application? Or, is that viable?
Thank you, Commissioner. No, we make sure that all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed during the application process. This is something that results from us giving them money. We can't get this information from them until they spend the money that we have given them.
So we've
So-
already cut the check.
We've already cut the check, given them the check, and they've signed a contract agreeing to, A, spend it the way they told us they would, and B, to give us paperwork or documentation of how they spent it upon our request, and we just haven't made a request yet.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Not on that, I'm dialed in on that, but I just got a notice from Rabia that the power is going to be shut off for 15 minutes sometime between 10:30 and 1. So I just want to make sure that we proceed.
Copy that.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no further discussion, thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right,
Somebody needs to be standing by the generator.
Well, the Peterson guys out there, they're doing the maintenance today, and so that's why
they're shutting it down.
What's going on? It's good news.
All right, next agenda item is 6C, appointment budget committee members. And before you start, Counselor, I spoke to former Commissioner Pash yesterday, and Chris very much wants to continue to be involved with all of the good work that he had done in the past, but he has requested to withdraw his name from the applicants on the budget committee.
Okay. All right. So the Budget Committee has a Central County Position 2 vacancy with term expiring 12/31/25. North County Position 1 vacancy with term expiring 12/31/23. Removing Chris Pash has just been said. We have Jim Colon, Renee Colon, Jessica Ginsburg, Samuel Waller, Val Early, Jonathan Giske, and Nick McNair for I forgot to say we also have an additional position open in the south part of the county because of a conflict that arose. So as far as those people, we have, I think all of you guys are apprised as to who is available for each slot? Or
Yes.
do you need clarification, or we good?
I don't.
Okay, and Nick McNair have submitted application and indicated their willingness to serve on the Budget Committee. So normally what we would do is I think we need to vote for each position individually. And I think probably the best mechanism here would be to, for me to just say as to position 1, South County, and then if somebody wants to make a motion for one of those members, you can vote.
Okay.
All right, so I will start with position, with the South County position, which is I'm going to start with North County, position number 1. And so do we have any nominations for that spot among the applicants?
And just to clarify on that, Counsel, I think your office spoke to Jessica Ginsburg
Yes.
on that, and she would be able to attend.
That's correct. She said she would be,
advance
with
notice.
advance notice, she'll be able to attend in-person meetings.
Okay.
She's the only applicant from North County, right?
I believe so.
So I make a motion that we nominate her.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes?
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 And that passes 3-0 with Jessica Ginsburg in the North County position.
Position 2, we have, this is Central County, we have Jim Colon, Renee Colon, Samuel Waller, and Jonathan Giske and Nick McNair, I believe. Is Jonathan Giske Central County?
I believe so. JJ, do you know offhand?
I'm looking it up right now.
I believe so.
He might be North County, because I think his property is right by Prehistoric Gardens, so it's kind of a halfway between.
Isn't the break Muscle Creek? I think it is.
It would be the school district lines, right? Would consider Central County.
His property is right by the Arizona Beach State Park there, I believe.
Okay.
Becky's not there anymore, probably. I think she knows where he lives.
Becky is there. Do you know Becky?
He's north of Muscle Creek.
Yep, he's north of Muscle Creek. That's what Rabia says as well. Okay, so would you like to reconsider him as one of the applicants for the North County position?
No, sir.
I don't believe so.
Okay. All right, then we'll move on, and that list of names that I've just submitted, do we have any nominations there?
So I would make a motion to nominate Nick McNair.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, so all in favor, yes?
Yes?
And yes, that passes 3-0, Nick McNair, Central County Representative.
And so for South County, we just have one applicant. It's Val Early.
I didn't hear the name, Sam Waller.
Sam Waller is from Gold Beach,
Okay. Was
but
he-
I did say him in the,
Oh,
in the
okay.
central.
Okay.
In the central, yeah, I did list him.
Well, I'll move to nominate Val Early to fill the South County representation.
And I'll second that. So we have a motion and a second, and vote. All in favor?
Yes.
And yes for me. So that passes 3-0 for South County Representative Val Early. So we have a budget committee in place now, and that's going to start to move forward quickly. And now we'll move to discussion action item 6D, and that's me. So I want to talk about the Board of Commissioners meeting room, this room that we're in right now. We have had multiple problems with technology, both recently and in the past. We always struggle to bring people on through Zoom and other means. We always struggle with getting our presentations and PowerPoints up on the screen efficiently. I think we can do a lot better in here. This room has been in place for a long time. We are definitely moving in a very positive direction. I want to keep that momentum going and continue the positive change that we're making. I mean, we literally have carpet on the walls here that has been up for I don't know how long. We've got literally wires everywhere up here. I think we can do a lot better. I think we can accommodate the people in this county better. And I'd like to start a discussion about doing that and maybe looking at what the cost may be and maybe some different options in making this room more efficient or even exploring another room.
Yeah, I think I'm good with the conversation for sure. I think it'd be good to start that discussion. I mean, even if it was in this room, right? One simple thing would be a window right there to our electronics guy, so he's not having to come outside,
Right.
try to figure it out and give all that. And
Yeah.
That'd be great.
just there's things that could definitely make it more efficient and work better.
Yeah.
I would just like to say I was attending a meeting yesterday, the BOPTA hearing, and I was in the audience. And I do think it's weird to have this raised dais, you know? Of course, I'm not on the raised dais. I'm on the lower, but I'm just from the public. It's just, I've been in lots of meetings, and a lot of places have that. But I think if you want to engage in, really egalitarian discourse, I think that might be a thing to take into account. But on the flip side, I also have to say that the carpet on the walls is still in very good condition, Brad. Very little wear.
It is. I think it needs to be vacuumed though, but it's definitely carpet on the walls. And I don't know, we might even be able to, behind me, I know there's some space behind me. I don't know if that is an option to expand the room larger, but I think we should explore all of that, and we should look to the future to to meet the needs of the county as we move forward. And I know we're going to be making some changes in how we conduct business at meetings, and I'd like to also conduct the place, or make changes in the place that we do.
So would you like me to look into some options then and get back to you?
Yeah, I'm thinking,
I'd say just, why don't you work with Brad, Commissioner Alcorn, sorry, and, you know,
See what works.
See what works, maybe if it requires going out for bid on some things, and, you know, obviously we'll have to coordinate with IT, because there would be some stuff in
Might be
there.
able to get some deals on some carpet remnants too.
There are,
maybe. All right. All right, so do we, are we all in agreement that I will work with council on looking at what our options are and costing some of this out and exploring it?
Yes.
John, you agree? Jay?
yeah.
All right. Well, we will make that happen then. All right, moving forward now, and we got just a few minutes before 10:30.
9:30.
Or 9:30, I'm sorry.
You're heading for a record.
I am. So do we want to move to executive session now in the higher order?
Shall I go get Julie?
Yeah, I think that's our next move.
I was wondering if I could entertain a business card information.
Of course.
For years now, we've been looking for a place to house all our search and rescue equipment. Right now, we own a hangar down there in the what's called the boat barn. It's where we put our marine equipment, the marine boats and everything. But we also rent a hangar down there that's in very, very bad shape. You can't even open the back hard doors without 2 or 3 people trying to push in on them. The salt air is killing all our stuff down there. It's just horrible. And for several years now, I've been trying to find some property to build a building on. Yesterday, I got a call from somebody that wants to buy our hangar at the marine boat. So my suggestion, or I think if we sold that and built a building somewhere on some property away from the inundation zone and away from the salt air, all our equipment would be better off. But because we're paying somewhere around the neighborhood of $500 a month rent on the search and rescue building down there, and if we had our own building, we could.
This is in Brookings you're talking?
No, this is right here in the airport.
Oh, okay.
We own a building, we own a hangar, but we also rent one down there, and the one that we rent is in very bad shape. It leaks bad. All our search and rescue equipment is just getting destroyed because of the salt air.
Yeah, it'd be great to move it up.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of keep that in the back of your minds. That's what I would like to do, because I think we could save money in the long run by having our own building built to put all our search and rescue, our marine equipment, have a training, like a little facility in there. At one point, we were going to build a building out there at the road department. And like I say, I don't think the county would be in for a lot, because if we sold that other building, the other hangar, that would finance most of it.
We actually own that hangar?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's it's the odds of having an emergency that would impact that building in a bad way are high. So.
Yeah, and like I said, we have equipment that it's sad to say, we get donated brand new pressure washers, and they're just corroded to the point where the salt air has ate them away down there. Chainsaws, I mean, you name it, all the equipment are command trailers. It's the salt air is just killing them. So I just want to keep that in the back of your guys' mind. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, some property and maybe figure out how to put a building on that.
All right.
I have I haven't seen the yard out at the road department since I would go out there. But the north end of that property, where we oftentimes put, damaged vehicles for the DA to inspect, is that still open on that end?
Well, the problem is, on high floods area, that floods the whole area down there. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
But they do have some property where they vacated the road around the top of that on the northwest side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still there. I thought that would be a great place to build a building and house our equipment.
How big a building are you looking for?
Probably at least a 60 by 100.
Oh, okay.
That would take place, that would hold all our search and rescue equipment and put some stuff inside that isn't inside right now, and our marine, and even have a elevated office area in there for the marine and search and rescue meetings. So it's just it's a dream, but I think it's one that we can achieve if we just work hard on it. I know there was an acre out there on Edson Creek Road that we were really interested in, but and it's county property, but there's a deed restriction on it that can only be used for storing road, like gravel and things like that. But I think we could work around that deed, and if we wanted to go look at that again. But there again, it's not quite as big as an area that I'd like to see for what we need.
Well, and it'd be nice because the road department is pretty accessible for you guys, in terms of location.
Right.
And fuel and everything.
Absolutely.
Is right there. It makes more sense.
Right. Anyway.
All right, thank you, Sheriff.
You bet.
And we're ready to move to executive session now?
Julie, you want to go to executive session? Sure. Okay. So you're going to have to read the little thing. Do you have it?
Yes, we will now enter an executive session pursuant to ORS 192-660, parentheses 2, parentheses A, which allows the board to meet in executive session to consider the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Thank you.
Welcome back, JJ.
Thank you.
John, you didn't see that?
You spill?
Nope, you didn't see a thing. Your mouse pad might have some interesting designs when you get back, though.
All right, JJ, we all squared away with the recording?
Yes, sir.
Eric, are we good to go? All right, very good. We are out of executive session and back in open session. It's 9:39 a.m.
I'd like to motion the authorization for the new hires pending their hiring requirements.
And I'll second that motion. Motion and a second. All in favor say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And yes, so that passes 3-0. And now we will move to
Commissioner update.
Commissioner comments. So Commissioner Herzog, we can start with you.
I have nothing to say, guys. Good job.
All right, Commissioner Trost.
A couple of things. One thing I want to just say is I've had an opportunity to make it to a few departments. I think at least most. Wow, we have passionate people in almost every corner of our county departments, it's just really good to see people who are driven, passionate, dedicated to providing good service. I think the task ahead of finding a path to a sustainable budget is we owe it to everyone involved, citizens, passionate employees, etc. So I look forward to how we move forward with that.
Yeah, I think we got some good people on the Budget Committee too. So I having been on the Budget Committee for 4 years and looking at the people we appointed today, I'm very confident moving forward.
And we had an issue down at the Veterans Building over the past couple of weeks, and it took a team effort, but I think that issue has been resolved. We had some people. We had some critters not paying rent underneath the building. Needed to be evicted. But that was
Chunks.
Yeah, but it was a really good effort by everyone involved.
Which involved air horns and a dry suit, I heard. I feel like if we'd been able to film that, we could have sold it. But,
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Well, I think the weather was a big help because it pretty much flooded the foundation area underneath the building, and I think it helped move some things out. But nonetheless, it was good to see everybody work together to get that accomplished.
All right.
The other thing, Commissioner Trost and I went out to the North Bank Rogue Slide yesterday after communicating with the engineer and to just confirm what he had said was happening with the river coming up based on the high rise here. The angle of the bank has moved from about here to here, and so they're making some modifications in their emergency fix, and we'll be taking action. I think they're starting work today.
Yeah, it was a
lot
very eye-opening.
A lot of material moved based on that river, which the river's the problem there.
And it's flowing pretty good.
Yeah.
And I know we had when we had the emergency session to authorize the work on that, I know that the plan was to start the work immediately, but we had more weather.
Right.
And there's no way that we could do that type of work. I know the Tidewater was ready. We were ready to go the next day, but with the volume of water that we had coming in, there's no possible way to do it. So hopefully we'll get a break in that weather and be able to move forward.
Well, the asphalt was so compromised that 5 to 6 feet in from the bank, I was able to move it with my boot. And so I haven't had a chance to go up there this morning to see if it's still there.
Yeah, me neither.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it has fallen in.
All right. So I just have, go ahead, John.
Got a question for Jay. Jay, that meeting you went to, that AOCC, how was that?
Oh,
How that went?
I
Medford or?
Yeah, I appreciate you reminding me. So that's a good point. Okay, so the AOCC meeting was a very good meeting. I learned a lot, and some of the things I think that the highlights that we need to kind of keep in mind. So the AOCC had gone out and filed a lawsuit against the BLM to increase the timber yield from currently 200 million board feet per year to 500 million board feet per year. That is in keeping in mind that the ONC counties grow 1.2 trillion board feet per year. So we're only really at 40% of the harvest that we would have normally seen in prior times. In conjunction with that, so in 1980, the ONC counties, per the contract, are to receive 75% of the timber receipts. And in 1980, the ONC counties came together and said, we are going to voluntarily give 25% back to the forestry department to become more efficient. Within the time, the federal government pretty much absorbed that extra 25%, going on 4 years now. And so, it should be, the appeal should be finalized hopefully soon, looking at this year. But regardless, it sounds like it'll most likely end up in the Supreme Court. Either way. If we win, the state will appeal to the Supreme Court most likely, and if they win, then we will. So there's a road, there's a path, we're on it, and it's looking like it could most likely end up being beneficial for our ONC counties. So it is definitely something I think that we continue to advocate for, and push on our legislators to find out why the BLM is still non-compliant with a judgment that's been provided in 2019, and support this effort. It's a really good group with some really passionate commissioners leading it, and I appreciate you guys putting me on that committee.
Well, I've always said if we can get back to what we financially profited from in the past, if we can get back to that, that's really a game changer for our county. And I know that looking at the county college I'm attending and the curriculum, I know there's a big segment on that at our next course, and hopefully you can attend that. I think it would be beneficial for both of us to be there, and also the people presenting, we can continue to build and establish relationships with them that we can advocate and fight with them to get this done.
I'm signed up for the April classes.
Good. All right, so further comments, that goes to me now. And I just want to publicly acknowledge and thank Beth Barker Hidalgo. She sent me some information on a couple of grants. I know that our department heads and the three of us, we look at grants and we look at grant opportunity frequently, but I really appreciate her reaching out to me, forwarding me some information. One of those grants particularly we're going to look closer at, and it may be something that we can pull together. And I also want to say publicly to anyone else, if you come across grant information that you think would benefit this county, let us know. There's just a big volume of grants out there, and we do our due diligence with them, and we search the best we can, but we're always looking for input. So, but I do want to say thank you to Beth for doing that. That's the only comment that I have today. If no one else has anything, we can adjourn this meeting.
Commissioner Herzog, did you have anything?
No, sir, that was a good meeting.
I don't know if it's a record or not, but it's 9:50, and we will adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everyone.